Hello everyone, this is going to be a quick synopsis of force building in the game Anima Tactics. So, here's some of the models we have, for example, today. Go ahead and pause if I'm going too fast on any of them. There are two ways of constructing a force in Anima. One is based off of the side of the force. Let's see. Don't know how well this camera looks. There's a sunburst on this one. That's the light side. There's a gray in this corner. That's neutral. And there's kind of the evil eye on this one. That's dark. So, this doesn't mean that they're good or evil characters, but it's kind of the philosophy of how they get things done. Do the means justify the end type thing. The game doesn't really go too much into it. What is important is that if you're playing with the side, light side cannot team with dark characters. Dark characters cannot team with light characters. Any of them can take the neutral characters. So, try not to make this too jerky for everyone. The light side here, these four, could team with all of these. I just moved out those dark cards, neutrals. On the other hand, if I was playing dark, this will be able to have those. So any neutral character, doesn't matter. You can play with them with either side. There is a balance difference. Dark tends to have most of the offensive abilities. They have better attack, better damage. Light tends to play defensive. They have better defense, better armor, better defensive abilities. Neutral about splits it up in the middle. Their special abilities are about the same. Light side has more defensive abilities. You have healers. And dark side has heavy attacks and debuffs. So that's one way of building your army. The other way is along faction. There are different factions. This one here is Empire character. This is a Wanderer. This is a faction called Samael. The newer cards have gotten rid of the faction lettering and put a symbol which is more easier to read. So this is the Church faction. Side does not matter when you're doing a faction. So these three characters here, light, neutral, and dark, can all be played together as a faction. Same over here. If I wanted to take these two characters, I can play them together as a faction. Now, as you can see, there's a lot fewer characters available in faction play. You've got more. It's a finer selection. Difference is you can put together just realized I switched these up. Oops. You've got a very defensive character here who can heal. You have an offensive powerhouse who can dish out the damage. They can now group together. Each faction also has themes, so the Samael faction, they all have ranged attacks. For instance, that's one of the themes. Church faction, they're all going to have a high resistance. And they tend to be very specialized characters. Their attackers tend to do, for instance, extra damage to mystics. This guy specializes in doing damage to heavily armored characters. Now when you do play a faction, you can also include one Wanderer. This is also a Wanderer. It doesn't matter that they're light or neutral or dark. You can just have one Wanderer. Or, by playing a team card, you can play one Wanderer team. Also counts as one Wanderer. So that's one of the advantages of those team cards. There. Figures in there. So there you go. And that is the quick basics of building your army in Anima Tactics. Wanderers I haven't really noticed a trend with their statistics. They usually tend to be more middle of the road, but they have typically very interesting special abilities that can make them very appealing. They also, with a highly specialized organization, you might want to reach out and get something that isn't so present in your organization. Both the Smail and Church organizations don't have a lot of prowlers. These are sneaky guys who can go into subterfuge and not be targeted. So that might be one reason I might want to take that character, even though he's not part of an organization. So each group is very different. Empire organization has very higher armor and damage than normal, so if it's a light Empire character, they're going to have a lot more armor. They're going to have more armor for being light, they're going to have more armor for being Empire. These are the heaviest armored guys. On the dark side, they're going to have more damage for being dark, more damage for being Empire. And of course, they all look like heavily armored dudes with gigantic swords. Smail, the non-humans. Church, very gothic, religious overtones. There are other organizations, including Asia Alliance, which has your pirates, your ninjas, Wizenshaft, which is the quintessential Japanese schoolgirls and giant robots, and more organizations later on that will be coming on the way. So I hope you enjoyed this quick overview of building a force in Anima Tactics, and consider picking up a couple of figures to play the game in between other games. Later, everyone. Bye.